Hey everyone, welcome to the NFFL Keeper Rankings. I'm going to go through the 12 teams here, and I'm going to go and rank their keepers. So these videos tend to run a little bit long sometimes, so I'm going to go ahead and try to just get right to it. Number 1, or actually I'm going to start at number 12. I'm going to go in reverse here. The worst keepers I have ranked here belong to Chris Long's wet work. I have no clue at all what this team name means. I asked Hyde, but Hyde didn't know either. So hopefully Chris will enlighten us. Brady's a solid quarterback there, you know, tier 1. And Des Bryant, you could do worse than there. But my main beef with this set of keepers here is there's no running back. And I think in fantasy football you kind of need running backs. But in Chris's defense, he's kind of dealing with the hand he's been dealt. So fortunately in this league, you know, he can go out, he's got the second pick, he can pick up a running back there that's going to be a good back. So he can certainly compete this year, there's no doubt about that, but the keepers leave a lot to be desired. Number 11, I have Matt Cameron's Team Hasselhoff. Love the tier 1 Andre Johnson, but there's no elite running back here either. You know, Matt Ryan's a solid tier 2, Marshawn Lynch. Yeah, he's the starter, and he's still fairly young, so there's potential there. But, you know, if I'm having a keeper going into a year, I want a legit, you know, top-tier keeper being a running back. At least one, and he doesn't have a guaranteed, you know, running back option here, so he suffers a little bit there. Number 10 is Fear of Heights. Made some moves recently to improve his keepers. And I really like his tier 1 and tier 3, Mike Turner and Sam Bradford. I think Sam Bradford has a lot of potential here, but it's a little risky. Not so much risky being a tier 3. I just don't really care for Johnny Knox as a tier 2. I mean, you can do worse. You always got to keep the tiered strategy involved in mind when you're talking about these keepers, but I just don't really care for him that much. Number 9 is Gridiron, in all caps. Not bad, but again, no guaranteed number 1 running back here. I like Peyton Manning, but I think even though he's the greatest quarterback ever, and the greatest quarterback currently in the NFL, I don't think he's the greatest fantasy quarterback. I don't even think he's really in the top 3. So I'm not really as high on him. Mike Wallace was acquired in a trade. I think he's a very good tier 2. I think he's one of the 5 best tier 2s for sure. Maybe even higher. LeGarrette Blount, he's young, he's got potential, but we'll see what goes on there. Number 8, that would be new manager Roddy Tadnev, Miami G-Men. Obviously he's the best tier 1 in AP. There's no question about that in my opinion. Eli Manning's a solid quarterback, nothing flashy. In tier 2 you can definitely do worse. But when you're going with the Bears defense in tier 3, again similar to Chris Long, you're kind of dealing the hand that was dealt to you. But you're essentially going with 2 keepers instead of 3, so that's going to hurt. Number 7, yours truly, Eskimo Brothers. Made some moves recently to shore up my keepers as well and get a legit tier 3 option. As of 2 days ago, I think I probably would have ranked my keepers like 10th because my tier 3 sucked ass. But Steven Jackson, number 1, I'm pretty high on him. I think in a Josh McDaniels offense with some healthy receivers for Bradford finally, we're going to see Steven Jackson explode and have a good season. Ben Roethlisberger, Ben Rapisberger, whatever you want to call him, I think is getting to be a fringe number 1 quarterback, as in not quite on the elite level, but approaching it. He's going to be consistent all year for me. And Stevie Johnson, tier 3, I like a whole lot. He's added to his vertical this offseason. He's working hard. Hopefully he'll make more catches this year. I know he's targeted 140 times, but he could stop with the drops. That'd be great. So pretty solid with 7th ranking for me. Number 6 is Team Acme. Now we're getting into teams that have some serious running back clout here. He goes with MJD as a tier 1. I like a lot. and Peyton Hillis is a tier 3, which is a great tier 3, but I don't think Hillis repeats this season, and that's why he's 6. Again, great tier 3, but I'm not having a lot of faith in him as being a legit second running back. And Jason Witten, I don't understand the trade to get Witten, to be honest. I think Macklin's a better keeper, but could be wrong there, who knows. Number 5, Weapon X, Wes Broom, going with Drew Brees at tier 1, very solid. LaShawn McCoy at tier 2, definitely one of the better tier 2s. Although, again, I think of him as a running back, too. I think he needs to go running back in the draft for sure. And tier 3 is Mike Williams, who I know Wes is probably in love with this guy because not only is he a great tier 3 keeper, solid wide receiver, but him on Weapon X is the reason why I don't have a championship last year. So that's probably always going to be something that makes Wes happy and something that really fucking pisses me off. So I really hate Mike Williams, and I really hate Antonio Gates. And that's that. Number 4, Ninja Turtles. I really like this set of keepers. I mean, I like them all coming down here. You know, the last 4 guys for sure. But Rashard Mendenhall and Hakeem Nicks, I like them both a lot. In fact, they were on my team 2 days ago, but my tier 3 sucks, so I had to do something about that. And Andrew gave me the ammo to get my tier 3. So I really like that. I really like that Mendenhall just never has bad weeks. I think he had 4 weeks or something under 9 points, something like that. He's really consistent, and I like that about him. And he's fairly young, so I'm not really concerned about durability. He's a really good keeper. Hakeem Nicks, up and coming. He got a little injury issue there, but I think he'll be fine. And Ahmad Bradshaw is probably the second best tier 3 keeper, third best tier 3 keeper out there. So that's a really good start. He's got 2 backs right off the bat and an elite wide receiver. So, you know, Andrew's definitely got a good start to the year. The third best set of keepers is the Pewter Pirates, newcomer Tom White. Welcome to the league, sir. Very good start. Tier 1, Arian Foster. I don't think he repeats last year. I don't think he comes close. That's coming from Tennessee alum. But he's still a good back, obviously. So that's a good tier 1 there. Jamal Charles, I think, is the best tier 2 out there. I think he's a force, and having that as a 1-2 punch at running back, something that's really going to make Tom happy on Sundays, that's for sure. Josh Freeman is a tier 3, obviously with the Pewter Pirates. That's I'm sure that makes him happy that he's his tier 3 keeper there. So, you know, he gets to root for the quarterback of his favorite team. I think Freeman is very underrated. I think Freeman can have a big year this year, and he's I think he'd probably be 8th or 9th best quarterback this year. I think he's very consistent and doesn't make mistakes. Brings us to number 2, the Turds, Chris Laginus, going with Chris Johnson at tier 1. Obviously one of the better running back options out there. Vernon Davis at tier 2. I think he's definitely a good option there, especially if he can somehow repeat his 2009 numbers. And Darren McFadden is the one of the better tier 3s as well. So again, you know, you're looking at my rankings. This is another team with 2 legit running back options and a solid tight end. So that looks to be a good start for Chris. And the number 1 keeper set in the league belongs to Logan's WTF. I'm in love with this set of keepers. And you have Michael Vick as a tier 3. That's just out of control. I know some people disagree with me, but I think he ends the season as the number 1 fantasy player, period. I believe in last year. I don't think it's an anomaly. I think it's reality. I don't know, maybe I just need to go to prison. I can come out and be a badass football player. But it happened with him. Miles Austin is a tier 2. I think with a healthy Tony Romo, he's going to put up some good numbers. And Ray Rice is number 1. Also little value today, not a whole lot. Ricky Williams signed with the Ravens, but you know, Willis McGahee was gone. So I mean, Rice is just going to continue to be a yardage monster, and that's definitely a great set there with a elite quarterback, running back, and wide receiver. So that's my rankings. In reality, it amounts to jack shit because you still got to draft, you still got to manage your team and play the games. But this is the start, and I'm glad we can kick this off with a little video analysis of the keepers. I'll do this again after the draft. I'll probably break it up into each conference and not have 15-minute videos for you guys. But so looking forward to the season, guys. It should be a lot of fun. Hopefully we have some nice shit talking in there. I know I'm ready to talk a bunch of shit. That's all I do is talk shit. I don't even know how to keep my mouth shut. Sometimes it gets me in trouble, but that's just how I roll, I guess. But so even though I got the 7th ranked keepers, just keep in mind that I do plan on getting my title back that I haven't had since the first season of the league. And hopefully I can get it back from James, who should have shipped it to Andrew almost 2 years ago. But we'll see what happens there, because I can't afford to buy a new one. So hopefully he'll ship it. So with that, I will end this this preview. Good luck to everyone, and just a reminder, you can now trade draft picks. But remember, you must always have a tier 1, 2, and 3 until after the draft. Then you're free to do whatever you want, but you must maintain a tier 1, 2, and 3 heading into the draft. You can still trade those guys. You just have the in return along with draft picks and whatnot. So good luck, everyone, and that's it.